Welcome to the Be Better podcast with Lee Barrison. True stories from Bakersfield's business owners and entrepreneurs. Lee is a local real estate broker that sold over 1,700 houses in almost 18 years. He is a husband, father, owner, and lead coach of Infinity Real Estate Services. And now it's time for the Be Better podcast.
What's up, guys? It's Lee Barrison here with the Be Better podcast, and today we are going to set off podcast number 7. And before we get started, guys, I just want to take a moment and thank everybody that has taken the time to subscribe to this podcast. I want to thank everybody that has taken a moment to give us a 5-star rating. As a matter of fact, yesterday I did a little research on my day off. I didn't have much to do, so I started looking at the amount of subscribers that are joining our podcast. And I'm happy to say that the number is continuously rising. And again, you know, it's just I feel very privileged and very blessed to be able to pour some knowledge and bring some very special guests into the office to really talk more about entrepreneurship and really talk about how to build a business. Okay. And so for anybody out there that has not subscribed yet, I want to ask you guys to do me a big favor. Please subscribe to the Be Better podcast on iTunes or Stitcher. And if you have not, please do so now. And once you get out there, subscribe to the podcast, give us a 5-star rating, give us a review, let us know you're live, and we'd love to hear what you got to say about the podcast. So with no further ado, like I mentioned before, today is podcast number 7, and I'm really excited about bringing this guest on here. We have not touched base on this particular topic so far. You know, we've had a number of different entrepreneurs, such as independent business owners. We've had people that, are in the health and nutrition business. We've had quite a few different faces and names, but basically today is a very special podcast to me because it's actually somebody who I have the privilege of working with and for. And basically, I've seen this young man grow his business basically from the bottom, and now he's actually here. So with no further ado, I would like to introduce the one and the only Alex Daredia. Say hi, Alex.
Hey, everybody. Lee, I just want to say, are we good?
Yeah, I think so. We're good.
Okay. I just want to say thank you so much, first of all.
Okay, keep going.
For everything that you do for the team, the community, and for the agents, most importantly, you know. And it's an honor to be on the podcast, and it's a privilege to sit right here with you and chat.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that, Alex. You know, I've known Alex for almost 2 years, I believe, right?
Yeah, almost 2 years.
Okay, and tell us a little bit about yourself before we segue into your business. You know, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, I'm having a baby in April.
All right, first one, right?
First one. Super excited / nervous. And, you know, just jumped into the business almost 2 years ago. And I remember the very first day to that, even like today, you know. And here I am.
Okay, cool. So we got a baby on the way. How many years have you been married?
I've been married for 3 years, 3.5, 4 years.
How young are you?
How young I am? 30.
Okay,
yeah.
So he's 30 years old, baby on the way.
Baby on the way.
And you graduated from Cal State Bakersfield.
Yes, graduated from Cal State Bakersfield in HR.
Keep talking. We're just sitting here adjusting his mic as well.
Right. So graduated from Cal State Bakersfield in HR. Worked in banking industry for almost 3-4 years. Did HELOCs, mortgage loans, new accounts, credit cards, you know, and all the good banking stuff, and then just hopped into real estate.
Okay, so what made you want to get into the wild and crazy roller coaster world of real estate?
Well, I didn't think it was going to be this hard of what it is.
Okay.
And it's a different business than what I thought it was going to be, right?
So what do you think it was going to be before you got in?
Basically, you just open up a door and write up offers.
Okay, so just show up.
Yeah, so I was just thinking they'd call you. Hey, if you want to look at this house on the street, you show up, you open the door, write offers, and bada boom, bada bang, and simple, right?
And it was just like that, right?
Somewhat.
Okay.
Somewhat. It's somewhat like that.
Okay.
And I got into real estate because I was excelling at my career in banking, you know, and I was doing good. The numbers were there. So one day I asked my manager, hey, I want a promotion. I want to become an assistant store manager or a manager, somewhere along those lines. And she flat out told me no.
Okay, so basically you were growing the company at your current bank.
Yeah.
Right, and then basically you felt that you were worthy of an upgrade to a store manager, and she basically said, heck no, I'm not giving you anything. You just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, and it's not her fault either. I mean, she got to answer to the up above, right? And the banks were having cutbacks, and at that point, I went home, I talked to Fahra, my wife, and I told her, I can't do this. And she's like, I've been telling you to jump into real estate since day one, and I don't know why you haven't done it yet. So I took my exam, passed the test, jumped into real estate. So quit my job.
So Fahra basically told you you've been talking about it forever.
Yeah.
How long were you talking about it for?
Well, I mean, we've been together for 3-4 years, and ever since I met her, right?
Yeah.
We discussed your goals and stuff like that, and I told her that's something that I want to do. But there's always that fear because you don't have that biweekly paycheck, right? You don't have that paid vacation. You don't have that health insurance.
Right.
The whole the whole 9 yards. So that was my fear, right? Because I don't want to be without a paycheck, and you don't want to get behind on your mortgage or bills and so on and so forth.
So basically, you were just fearful jumping in,
of course,
knowing that this is commission-based business,
right?
And if I don't sell anything, then I don't make any money. And
it's game over.
Game over.
Yeah.
And then my car gets repoed, and then they come take my house, and before you know it, I'm living in a hostel with my wife and my soon-to-be newborn.
Yeah, we don't want any of that, So before I quit my job, I saved up 6 months of savings,
Okay, that's smart.
And then I had the savings. I paid off my car, so I minimized my billing, like bare minimum, bare minimum.
Mm-hmm.
So if just in case we had to stretch those savings, it's possible to do so.
Okay, so you kind of financially prepared yourself for the worst.
Yeah. So I mean, so we did that. And
did somebody tell you to do that, or?
I think I read that online somewhere.
Got it.
Yeah,
okay.
Before you jumping in, just save yourself 6 months of paychecks, and then so that way you're well prepared just in case you don't do your sales right away, which I didn't either,
Okay.
So
cool. So you passed your test. How many years have you been licensed now?
Almost 2.
Okay, so you've been licensed for almost 2.
Yeah.
And
June of 2017.
June of 2017. So we're about 7 months away from being. So you're a year and a half in the business. You're 5 months actually in the business. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go ahead and switch gears a little bit. Okay. All right. So Alex Daredia called me. You called me, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I called you. Yeah. I interviewed 3 other brokerages. I called you.
Okay.
No names, but yeah.
So you called me. I remember I was driving down the road.
Right.
And you said you interviewed at a couple different brokerages.
Right.
And then somebody referred you to me.
Correct.
And then you came in. And I don't think you believed the fluff. I don't think you thought.
No,
I don't think you took me serious.
What you said was, if what I say makes sense, are you willing to sign the contract?
Yeah.
And I said yes. And I showed up, and what you said made sense, and I signed, and ever since I'm right here.
Superman. Well,
yeah.
I love having you on board. I mean, honestly, you are definitely somebody who jumps in with both feet with blind faith. And really, Alex, let's talk about that for a minute, because you've exemplified blind faith in real estate sales. Most people don't, and the reason why is because, like you said, I mean, they're fearful that they're going to fail, so they basically walk that tightrope.
Right.
They don't want to put their neck out there. They don't want to ask too many questions. They don't want to talk to too many people, and therefore the failure rate in real estate is 18 months, right?
Yeah.
The average the average closings per real estate agent in the United States is 4 transactions a year. Can you freaking believe this?
Yeah, when I don't know how people survive. I mean,
I don't either.
I couldn't do it.
Well, again, I mean, it's funny, but we're surrounded by, and it's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. The industry is broken itself, to be honest.
Thank you. The industry is broken. You took the words right out of my mouth. I mean, we're surrounded by a bunch of agents that don't have enough training, nor enough support or accountability, and so therefore, once they finally get licensed and they think this is going to be their dream job, by what would you say earlier? Just showing houses.
Just show up to the house, open the door, and then you write an offer.
Bullshit. Okay.
I agree.
I'm sorry. I got to call it. So with that being said, the failure rate's 18 months. That's the average shelf life of a real estate agent right now. And here you are heading into that 18-month period, because we just said basically we're a year and a half in the business.
Right, you can say that.
Okay,
100%.
so tell everybody out there, I asked you if what I say makes sense, Alex, and you feel comfortable and confident that I can take your business to the next level, would you consider signing a contract when we meet?
Yeah.
And you said yes. Did any other broker ask you that question when you met him?
No, sir.
I knew that. I knew you were going to answer that. All right, perfect. So you came in. I don't think you believed some of the stories that were taking place in the building.
I did some research before I walked in. You had the highest per agent production at that time, which was like, I don't remember that exact number, but it was up there.
24.
Yeah, per agent, right? And I went around the cubicles and I talked to every single agent and I said, let's hear it, right? I mean, you're telling me all these glorious things, and I was like, it can't be.
I want to hear from somebody else.
I want to hear from the crew, right?
Yeah,
so I spoke to each one of them, and they said it themselves, and the numbers were there, and it was pretty solid.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
Is that I spent a lot of money that day paying those guys off to tell you what you wanted to hear.
Yeah,
I can get you to sign a contract.
No, and I mean, it is what it is.
I'm kidding with you. I'm kidding with you. But yeah, so you're right. That's. I still remember this day. He walked in. I presented. I could tell what from his body language, he needed to be. He needed to hear it from other people besides myself. So I brought him through the office. He spoke to a couple agents that were having amazing careers in such a short amount of time. And Alex did sign on with blind faith, of course.
I didn't ask any questions.
You didn't ask any questions?
No, I didn't. I just said, all right, where do I sign?
Sign it.
Yeah, that's
okay,
it.
Perfect. Well, and so Alex, you came in full time. You didn't do a part-time gig, did you?
No, I hopped in full time. I had quit my job. So this was it. I mean, it was sink or swim.
Okay, perfect. And really, that's the best attitude to have if you're going to get into real estate. That's the best mindset to have, because guess what? When the pressure's on, you perform.
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
Yeah.
So, Alex, tell everybody out there, you started in June of 2017 in your first 6 months with our company. What was your production like?
There wasn't any.
You didn't have any production for 6 months?
First 90 days, there was no production.
Okay.
And then one sale hit. It was a buyer. And then another listing hit. And then I got a sign call on that listing. And then it's just a snowball effect from there. And it's still going. And I love it.
Yeah, snowball keeps getting bigger, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so basically for 90 days, you said not a single paycheck.
Right.
But what did you do for those first 90 days when you started?
It was frustrating. I mean, I remember talking to one of the coworkers out here. We're just like, dude, there's nothing. We were calling. I would come to the office, not role play, right? Role play, and then role play every day. Jump on the phone from like 9 a.m. to like 11:30, 12, nonstop, just calling. Lunch. Back on the phones.
Okay.
Calling.
Yeah.
4:30, 5 o'clock, I'm drained, like burnt out.
Yeah.
Go home, refresh, do it again the next day. I did that for like
90 days.
90 days, nonstop.
Even on Saturdays.
Even on Saturdays.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I had nothing to do. I had no buyers. I had no appointments. I did open houses too, but there's nothing. Like, what else was I going to do? I had to get a client. I just kept calling. I got a listing on Bernard. It was 609 Bernard. I remember to this day.
You double-ended it.
I double-ended it. Client moved out of state. New client moved in. And that client gave me 2 more listings after that.
And then all of a sudden the momentum shifted, right?
Yeah.
Sweet.
And it's just nonstop.
I love it. Okay, so these guys, just for as a cliff note to this conversation that we're having, this is something that just makes me tickled inside. This is the real reason why I chose to even consider becoming a real estate broker or owner, is because these type of stories right here. And it's just going to get better as the story goes on. So let's move on. So the first 90 days, didn't see any brink of light. Then all of a sudden, something happened.
Got a buyer.
You got a buyer. You put them in escrow. You double into the listing. Then you got referred a couple more deals.
Went to Mike Ferry.
Was that impactful for you at all?
That was very eye-opening. I mean, you had shown me and told me the stuff. But, it's different when you hear from somebody that's just out of the picture that you don't see on a daily basis, right? And Mike called people on stage, and they're doing 100 deals, 200 deals.
Making millions of dollars a year.
Millions of dollars. Not hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, right? And I was like, if he can do it, what's stopping me from doing it?
Did he look any different than you?
No, I mean, looks no different.
Was he overweight sometimes?
No. Oh, yeah, there are some people that are overweight. There are some people that had,
lisps.
Yeah, all that
right?
all that good stuff. It was just a normal person. And I'm thinking, he's able to do it?
Why can't I do it?
Yeah, exactly.
I love that.
So, and then I put that in my head. I was like, what is it? Whatever they're doing. We sat down, we talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I started doing, and then we went from there.
Beautiful. So you went to the Mike Ferry event. It was a big eye opener. You finally, instead of hearing it from me or anybody else in the office, you got exposure to over 3, 4, 5,000 different agents,
right?
And panels upon panels of other agents across the United States, including Canada and Italy, where these people were killing it in a major way. And were they doing anything differently versus what we talk about?
And these people are so humble. Like, they're so down to, or it's easy to talk to, and I could call up any one of them right now and be like, let's role play, and it wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
Or I could ask a tip and no problem,
Yeah, we got a couple friends from that. John Sy,
and we had
right?
lunch with a few of those people
John
out there.
Sy, Jose Luis Morales.
Most definitely.
That I remember that now.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That was that.
Even Jose himself was like, just keep doing it non-stop. And I mean, he's doing pretty solid out there in Oxnard.
He's not doing bad.
Yeah, so definitely.
Good. So let's fast forward. Here we are now. We are in 2018. So your first full year as a real estate agent, or should I say a real estate business person, where are we looking at as far as closings for the remainder of the year?
44 have been closed already.
Okay, and today is November 30th.
7 more in escrow.
Okay, so
I think.
So are all 7 of those going to close by the end of the year, or no?
3 or 4 are going to close.
Okay, so that's going to put you at 48 closings?
I'm shooting for 50.
You're shooting for 50.
I got to find a few cash deals, something's going to happen. I'm going to make sure something happens.
Oh, God. Alex, listen. So let's just be conservative, okay? Let's just stop thinking about 50 for a minute, but let's just think about 48. Okay. I mean, of course, you want to hit 50. I want you to hit 50.
Right.
Everybody wants you to hit 50.
But with what I have in escrow, it'll be 48.
It'll be 48.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so this is your first full year in real estate.
Correct.
Okay, and let's go ahead and rewind the tape. If any of you guys are just jumping on now, I repeat, 4 transactions is the average transactions per agent in the United States, and this young man at the age of 30 is closing 48 transactions, his first full year in the business. Now, do you have an assistant?
Yes, part-time.
You have a part-time assistant?
Yes.
Okay, and you're grooming her to become a real estate agent, correct?
I am. My goal is to bring her on as a full-time buyer's agent.
Okay.
And I think she has a great personality. Mm-hmm. She's solid. She comes from a sales background, so it'll be just win-win for everybody. You know, she's working on her test right now.
Yeah. I'm
calling her every day, and I'm harassing her. Have you passed your test? Have you passed your test? And she's like, I will pass my test. And I'm like, good.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, just keep hammering away on her. But here's where it really gets interesting. Okay, is that the average industry, the industry right now, in its whole, I look and study at agents' numbers on a daily basis within our community. Right. And I see agents that have either been in the business for 5 years or 10 years or even 15 years or so on and so forth. And they're not closing 48 transactions.
Well, why is that, Lee? I don't understand. Like, why are these people not able to do it? I mean, there's plenty of business, I mean, I don't think there's a shortage of business. There's always buyers. There's always sellers. Doesn't matter what time of the year it is. Doesn't matter what month it is.
They're everywhere.
There's life situations are happening nonstop on daily basis.
Right.
So why not?
Good question. So I'd like to answer that for you.
Shoot it.
It's a couple things. Number one, it's the environment that they're in. Okay. So a lot of times they're in an unproductive, unsupportive, unmotivating atmosphere.
Okay.
Where the broker doesn't care whether or not they show up. The broker or the sales manager basically, doesn't matter. It is their business, that agent's business, isn't of a concern to the broker.
Okay.
Well,
that's not good.
No, but secondly, guys, is and Alex, to answer this question, is the reason why agents produce at such a low level is because of the fact that it's so normal, so it's accepted. Does this make sense?
Right. I mean, I'm still puzzled. Like, how do you survive on 4 deals?
I don't know.
That's average commission check is around $4,500, $5,000, right? After broker split, it's even lower.
Right. And that's before Uncle Sam shows up.
And that's before even Uncle. I forget about Uncle Sam. That's not even including him, right? So you're making $18,000. How's that even possible?
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
So like my goal personally was I made about $50,000
at where your previous
at my job at the bank.
I didn't think you wanted to talk about that.
Right. I'm not. No, but the thing is, and my goal was to make that amount at least.
You're for sure?
Right.
Did you make it?
That's not. Yes, I did.
I think you made just about that much.
Yeah, we made that amount
in 6 months.
Yeah, because if you hop into this business, you want to set that goal at least, right, where you surpass your
previous goal
income.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I don't know why people are not doing that.
Well, and again, it's your surroundings. And here's the true answer. Here's the meat and potatoes of this answer. Can I answer for you?
Sure.
Okay. It takes 3 months to get a real estate license.
It does.
Okay. You take your test, and then you show up to an office.
Okay.
And the broker, the sales manager, you go to them and ask them, what do I do?
Right.
And then they basically say, learn how to read a contract. Learn how to read a listing contract.
Okay.
Read the disclosures. They talk about do an open house.
Right.
They talk about everything but
the sales,
talking to people and getting rejected at a high level. How often do you get rejected per day?
A lot. Like a lot.
A lot?
Like I've never been so much rejected in my life. Like a lot.
I love it.
A lot.
Hey, so at your previous job, you were on the phones too, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was doing sales. I did so there was not a lot of walk-in traffic.
Mm-hmm.
So I would call in and just try to consolidate loans over the phone, or tell them home equity line of credit, refinance, so on and so forth.
Okay, so you're kind of used to talking to people, but was the level of rejection as high as it is now?
Actually, I didn't make calls at that level.
At what you're doing now?
Yeah, like
Okay.
now I make a lot of calls.
Okay, so how many contacts a day do you make?
The goal is to hit 25, 30 contacts daily basis.
Minimum?
20 is minimum.
Okay, so a minimum of 20 contacts per day.
Nonstop.
And then how many listings is your minimum listings per month? What are your standards?
So for past 6 months, I've been averaging 4 to 5 listings every month.
Okay, so that's about 60 listings a month that you're taking.
Right.
I'm sorry, a year.
Right. It's a numbers game. I mean, to be honest, I'm taking like that many listings. Not all of them are going through. Some are getting canceled. Some are getting withdrawn. Some the appraisal doesn't come in. I mean, it's not as glorious as it seems, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was reading this book by Ryan Serhant, and he said, have as many deals in the air as possible.
Right.
Like, if you have the ability to get 100 deals in the air, do it. Just do it. If you have 100 deals, 50% fall out, and there's still 50% available,
Sure,
right?
yeah,
and
yeah.
whatever fell out, just fell out. Forget it. Don't cry about it. Go get 50 more. Bring it back up to 100,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I've been trying to do that, like nonstop every day. More appointments, more deals, more appointments, more deals, more appointments, more deals. If they're going to fall out, they're going to fall out. Of course, we're going to try everything to prevent them, close the deal.
Of course,
no problem.
Yeah.
But if it's meant to fall out, it's meant to fall out.
Right. And so what you're saying is that the disconnection between you and your deals becomes more and more, because if you have a lot of transactions open all the time, you don't care if 2 or 3 fall out, because I still got 7 in the pipe. And by the way, I got 7 listings available right now. And by the way, I got 4 buyers or 5 buyers that I'm working right now. I don't care about those 3 that fell apart.
Yeah, I mean, I do care. I'm not gonna say.
Of course.
But it's 5.
But would you care a little bit more if you had 1 transaction?
I would flip out.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I would flip out. So the goal is to have as many listings as possible, and as many buyers as sales as possible. Because you just never know which deal is gonna go south, right? And it's real estate. Deals go south all the time.
Yeah.
Not all my deals. I've had some smooth transaction, but 80% of them have gone south, and we have to bring them back on track.
Not south, but there's just like a little hiccup in the road you got to get over.
Right. So hiccups like
south to me is like the shit hit the fan, it's over.
No, I know. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
But like hiccups like appraisal. Like I had one listing appraisal came in 40,000 under.
Okay.
And I was just like what do I do at this point, right? I mean, the sellers are like how do you even tell a homeowner your home is not worth $40,000?
Right.
I mean, we came to find out that there was some major issues. That's why that appraisal came in much lower. But stuff like that happens.
Yeah.
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 So
Okay.
definitely.
Well, perfect. So, okay, so 48 is what we're on track to hit in
Right.
your very first year in real estate, which I want to congratulate you on, by the way, because
Thanks.
that's very, very unheard of. You know, I don't care what borough, what city, what state you live in.
Right.
Go ask your mom. There's not a lot of people out there that are selling 48 houses in their first full year in real estate. So, moving forward, 2019 is right around the corner. 2018 is basically a wrap, Alex.
Yeah.
What is your production goal for 2019?
We're shooting for 75.
75
Yeah.
transactions in a second year in business. Beautiful. Now, let me ask you this. I've asked you twice, what is your production goal for 2018, 2019? And you tell me a number instead of money, right? Why is that? Why do you talk about the unit versus the
Money is a
volume?
result, you know.
It's the byproduct
It's a
of.
byproduct, right?
Yeah.
You're going to get paid once the deal closes. So I try not to worry about the money as much. I count the number of files.
I love it.
A deal's a deal. Doesn't matter if it's a $50,000 condo or if it's $500,000 property.
Right.
A deal's a deal. A file's a file. A client's a client.
Beautiful. I love that
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah.
So 75 transactions in your second year of business. And what are some challenges that you see yourself facing in 2019 in order to get to 75 closed transactions?
Time management.
Okay.
I think that's going to be a big issue. I mean, I'm struggling with that right now. We're obviously going to have a buyer agent next year, so she'll play
She'll
a
free
big,
you up on the buyer side.
she'll play a big role of that.
Yep.
We're just getting everything in ducks in a row. We already have transactions lined up for January.
Okay.
Definitely. So
Okay, good. So one of the challenges, Alex, just to mention, is time management.
Right.
I'm sure that if there's any real estate agents out there that are watching this podcast, I'm sure you guys have no problem with time management. Alex is.
I don't know how you
probably the
do
only
it.
one.
Tell me how you do it.
Okay, so listen, guys. Time management is one of the key things, or the key challenges that I see most real estate agents suffer from. Okay,
Right.
and just give me a thumbs up, guys, on this video here, or give me a response on this podcast if you guys suffer from time management, because that is one of the number one things that agents suffer from in real estate. So, you know, one of the, like Alex, you know, you're right now you're basically preparing yourself to hire a buyer's agent, which is a good thing, because in order to eliminate time management problems, you have to do what we call delegating, right?
Right.
You've got to.
I have a big issue with that, like major issue.
I know.
I want to be in charge. I want to be in control. Everything has to be a certain way, but I'll have to figure it out.
And let me tell you, that right there is just called normal. Okay, it's just
Yeah.
normal to have a problem handing the wheel off to somebody else. It's a
Right.
problem thinking. Here's another problem with time management. If you want to delegate, well, guess what? It costs a little bit of money sometimes.
It sure does. I
And
don't like
sometime-
spending money.
Right, I know you don't. But yet, here we are. We have to spend money to make more money. And
Correct.
you've heard that, you know,
I have.
that adage, right?
Yeah.
And it's true. I mean, literally, if you hand the wheel off to somebody that's probably better than you in some areas of your business,
Yeah, definitely.
then he or she makes you look better. Yeah, they may cost a little bit of money, but the beautiful thing about it is that you're actually providing employment for somebody out there that really needs a job and really, really looks out for your best interest and your business.
Correct.
And if you can find that person out there, then trust me, then guess what happens to you?
Free up more time to
You
get
got
more business.
plenty more time with your new baby, with Fahra. You can go out of town more often. There's a lot of different things that you can do with your time, because guess
Right.
what? Money comes and goes, but time never does. Time is a commodity that you can never get back. Money, you can make it, you can lose it, but guess what you can do? You can make it again.
Yeah.
Does that make
I agree.
sense?
I agree.
So, so if anybody out there has a problem with time management, I hope that helps out a little bit. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. But before we finish, what I want to talk about is, now that you are in the real estate business for just over a year and a half, Alex, you just closed on your first flip property.
Yeah, it's an investment property
It's an
that we
investment
picked
property.
up. We're gonna be
You're holding it.
Yeah, we're gonna turn it into a rental.
Okay, go.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're gonna turn it into a
It
rental.
looked like a flip because it was a shithole. So you
It
know.
was big time.
Yeah.
It's costing me a pretty dime right now.
Yeah.
No kidding. But it's a
It
risk.
needed a ton of work.
It does need. It needed a lot of work.
Yeah.
So, but it's almost there. It should be up and running. If you're following me on Instagram and Facebook, you'll see it on there.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm looking for a tenant. 3 bedroom, 1 bath. Let me know. All right.
What's the rent?
The asking is $1,250.
Okay, so by the time I think this podcast is going to be a wrap and it's going to be live, you probably already found a tenant. So I like the plug.
Yeah.
But here we go. So basically, we just bought our first rental after being in the business, but you already have another rental of yours.
Yeah,
right?
this is it will be the third one.
Okay.
My goal has always been to buy one investment property every
Per
year.
year, okay.
So I bought 2 before I jumped into the business. I bought one this year. The goal is to buy one more next year.
Okay.
And just keep buying them.
Keep buying rentals.
Never buy enough real estate.
Now, tell me what's important about buying rentals.
What's important about buying rentals?
Yeah.
It's just rentals. You can't go wrong with it. I mean, it's income coming in, and if you keep on investing, it's a growing portfolio. That is my retirement.
Yes.
Because we don't get that 401k like I did at the bank. So over here, we're going to create one.
Right. And that 401k is something that you can actually see.
Yeah, physical. It's growing in value, and it's going to pay me rental every month. And I mean, of course, there's going to be headaches. The toilet's going to get broken.
Yeah.
The roof might catch on fire. Stuff might go south, and,
Yeesh.
But, hey, it's a risk, right?
That's true. Just like any investment, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So before we wrap it up, Alex, why don't you just tell everybody out there how to get a hold of you by phone, what your Facebook look like, and all that other good stuff.
Super simple. Instagram handle, Alex Daredia. There's 2 of them, Daredia Group. And my number is 661-903-3183. If anyone's looking to buy, sell, reach out. Out of state, in state, it's not a problem.
Yeah,
We're here to help.
Yeah, if any of you out of town or out of state agents are looking for a good agent to refer business to, I'd highly recommend Alex. I know that you have received a lot of
10% of my business came from referrals with other agents this year alone. 10%. That's pretty solid.
That's very, very solid.
Yeah.
So basically, if anybody out of town or anybody out in town is either looking to buy a home, buy an investment property, or maybe list a property, I would highly recommend Alex. He's done a great job for himself, and he'll do a great job for you guys. So with that being said, this is a wrap. Podcast episode number 7 is now over, and I really just want to finish up by saying thank you to everybody again for watching and watching on YouTube and as well as listening to our iTunes podcast or on Stitcher. And with that being said, thank you, Alex. I appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you, Lee. I appreciate it.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Cool.
Are we good?
We're good.
Awesome.